What's going on, gang? It's your boy Ken. Man, I'm excited that the day is finally here. The Green Goddess, Polaris, is here. And you guys know how much I've been wanting X Factor to come to the game. So the fact that they're actually here, and we got some other ones that I've been asking for some time, like Polaris. Polaris has to be one of my top character choices for this faction, alongside with Havoc. I'm not sure if we're gonna get Havoc or if we're gonna get another X Factor member. I hope so. I think Havoc would be fantastic in this game. But either way, this is about Polaris. I love this character. The way that they did the kit is just amazing. We're gonna talk about the kit. We're gonna talk about the ISOs. Stay tuned. And also, by the way, I apologize. I don't have any sound when I pull this from Twitch, so bear with me. I'll try my best to make sure that I do a voiceover whenever I need to. All right, and around 24 orbs were saved prior to this. I didn't want to open all of them, so I opened around like 14 regular orbs, and I had at least 5 just saved up, and I decided to stop being a and give it a shot, and boom, we managed to get 5 red stars on Polaris. And as I told my chat, I said, well, you know, if we get anything higher than 5 red stars or 5 red stars or higher, we are going to wail on this character. And you know, I'm a man of my word. I normally don't unlock characters this way. I try to be free to play for the most part in this game, but you know what? I don't regret it. Polaris is an amazing character, not just in the game, but just overall. I really love Polaris. So for me, this was an easy decision. I decided to just go ahead and buy it. Here's the pools for her. I also didn't get that lucky with her, and I mean, nothing too bad either. I did manage to get a couple of blue orbs here and there. So overall, I'm satisfied. Mission accomplished. All I wanted to do was unlock Polaris, which, by the way, she is the next character for the Strike Pass after Silver Surfer. So something to note here. I really hope that there's a blitz or something attached to the Strike Pass, and that's not the only method of getting shards for Polaris. But if it is, I mean, technically, with the free, if you complete the Strike Pass, the free portion of it should still allow you to unlock this character because there's 45 shards unlocked for Polaris. So we'll see. I still hope that there's a blitz or something attached that I can get more shards for her. But either way, I gotta say, Polaris, out of the bunch, out of X Factor, seems to be the one character that might be able to also function even without high stars. And you know, I'll get to that when we talk about the kit. But yeah, this character is a beast. Here you guys see, I was able to take her up a little bit more than this, but of course I wanted to show you guys, you know, the process. Everybody enjoys seeing a character getting built up. So we're gonna go over the kit, we're gonna go over the ISOs for this team, and we're gonna talk about the synergy amongst the 4 and possible 5th characters. Kind of like no brainer right now. It seems that Silver Surfer is gonna be a good option here. Surfer faction, or whatever you want to call them, they take very well on Black Order, and this is even outside of War. So as we mentioned, this is definitely going to be a top team, one that you're going to want to be working on. And yeah, let's get into it. Let's talk about her kit right now. All right, guys, so this is where I have Polaris at. She is at gear tier 10. I want to take her up to gear tier 12 for now, but I'm in the middle of a gold crunch. I'm at 185 gold, and I don't necessarily want to use the last orbs that I have for gold to bring her up, because I am bringing up characters into T4's. So eventually, though, I will be bringing up Polaris. I'll be bringing up all these X Factor and Axemen teams up, because I think both these teams are going to be a focus for me to build up. Just do a great job of managing your resources and gathering as much mutant gear as you can, because these 2 teams are going to be amazing, and I think they're going to be great for a long time. So but let's start talking about Polaris, and let's talk about her kit. So T4 wise, we'll look into it, but initial thoughts, just so you guys know, I don't think that you need to do any T4s for Polaris. However, let's talk about the value. Here's the passive: Mistress of Magnetism. On self or ally X Factor crit, remove all deflects from the most injured non-summon enemy. When an enemy attacks this character or an ally with barrier, you apply bleed to that enemy. That's a great defense mechanism. On war offense, gain plus 10% max health. Non-summon X Factor allies gain plus 10% max health. Gain plus 5% max barrier. Non-summoned X Factor allies gain 5% max barrier. gain 70% focus. Non-summon X-Factor allies gain 70% focus. So what the actual T4 he does, this is only for war offense. Plus 5% max health for self and non-summon X-Factor allies, and then plus 5% max barrier for self and non-summon X-Factor allies. So technically it would go up to 15% max health, and it would go up to 10% max barrier, which is good. But once again, this is only available in war offense. I think it's almost like a luxury at this point. But eventually, if you're gonna put T4's into her, one that you might want to consider, especially if you're gonna want to use this team to punch up against others in war. So pull all enemies up to 2 spaces towards the primary target, then attack primary and targets within 2 spaces for 260% damage, plus apply disruptive for 2 turns, flip 2 regeneration to bleed. If multiple men is an ally, you gain 100,000 extra focus, so it's set to flip regeneration to bleed. This attack is unavoidable and cannot be countered, very similar to her father Magneto, and this is a very high cooldown. But as you guys know, this team is meant to put in damage and damage early, so you're probably going to want to start off with by doing this move. What the T4 does in here is plus 40% damage to all targets, which is nice, and then the flip all regeneration to bleed is also very nice. But once again, I don't think that every team that you're gonna face in war is gonna have full regens on the other end. So technically, like teams like Sinister Six, like Hawk 6, when Doc Ock calls regeneration the entire team, then this D4 kind of like mirrors that, like it'll counter that 100%. But yeah, this isn't necessarily a must in my eyes. One that I plan on doing though eventually on her down the line. For the special electrostatic field, barrier self for 20% of this character's max health. Attack primary target and adjacent targets for 160% damage. If any target has bleed, attack that target for 210% piercing instead. Gain 50% extra crit chance against the primary target. This attack cannot be blocked. So the T4 is also another one, once again, that's nice, but not probably unnecessary. 30% damage to primary and secondary targets, plus 40% piercing to primary and secondary targets with bleed, and then always crits. So the damage is nice, but you know, it's an average increase. And then the attack, always crit primary target, it goes up from 50 to always, but remember you also get extra crit chance from, I believe, his long shots passive. We'll take a quick look into both of them. So, and then making her Raider, she's also gonna get increase that as well. So not necessarily a must, but another good one. And then the basic, I think it's very the T4 is very common. Attack primary target for 190% damage and adjacent targets for 160% damage. Apply bleed to the primary and adjacent targets. Bury the most injured non-summon ally for 5% of this character's max health. So that goes up by 5%, so that'll technically be 10%, but that's for just one single member. Plus 40% damage is also, once again, a nice increase, but nothing that screams it's an essential T4. So no essential T4s on Polaris, but if you're gonna want to do some on her, I would say the passive and the ult might be optimal as a selection. And then let's talk about her ISO. So once again, I made her a Raider. I think the kit screams Raider, and honestly, it's just gonna help the rest of the team. These guys all thrive on crit chances. So once again, to remind you guys what the Dat Bros do on self or ally crit, you fill the speed by 10%. Of course, it's by more. If you by 20%, if you actually T4 this as well for self and all X Factor allies. So this is a huge T4 to actually do for the team. But yeah, once again, it's all about the crit chances. You gain 25% crit chance with long shot. So that 50%, if you have long shot along, is gonna be 25% increase on top of that. Plus, once again, you know, making her a Raider. So more than likely, this team is gonna be doing a lot of crit in all their attacks. So very important to remember that. I think the only one that almost doesn't make sense to be a Raider is multiple men so far, being that his kit is very support oriented. You do a lot of the summons with the special, you also summon with the ult, but the basic, I think most fights are gonna be over by the time you do more than one basic. So there's almost like no need for you to go crazy and make him a raider. I think fortifier makes sense, but make sure that you put him at high levels. You also don't necessarily want to make him a healer, because it seems like the dupes will be the one gaining the extra regens. And then remember, if you T4 his passive, on death of an allied dupe, you heal for 5% of this character's max health. So if you're not doing the passive yet, you might want to consider him a healer if you don't want to take him up to fortifier just yet. But yeah, I think down the line you want to make this guy a fortifier. So but yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoy this. Polaris is looking like a beast. I know this is a team of 4. Plug in your Silver Surfer. Plug in, I would say, anybody right now that you're not necessarily doesn't have a home for now, because it doesn't matter. These 4 guys tend to do most of the damage together. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you guys enjoy X Factor. And yeah, I stream on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I hope to see you guys soon. Have a great one, everybody. Peace.